App switcher. Infuse. Active. Close. Playback landscape. Playback scale. Button. Close. Button. Playback volume. Button. Volume. 100%. Adjusted. Playback. Close. Playback scale. Button. James L. Littleton _ GMTA 02278682. James L. Littleton playback scale. Close. Button. Playback volume. Volume. 1. Rewind back. Play. Button. Pause.
Temperatures today, the warm air stays put out west. More record heat, but the eastern cold wintertime is sinking into the south and spreading into the Midwest. Kansas City, you were 61 yesterday, in the 30s today. David?
Thank you, John. 9 minutes, Dave, thank you. It's 9 minutes before 8 right now. James Littlejohn is an athlete whose attitude is, hey, nothing stops me. He is 16 years old. 4 years ago, he became blind. He had a congenital cataract condition. He lost his sight just when he was starting to show promise in baseball and football. Well, now he's concentrating his athletic efforts on wrestling. He's a sophomore at Magruder High School in Rockville, Maryland. He's already on the varsity wrestling team. He dreams of becoming a state champion in the 2 years he's got before he graduates. So far this season, he has a 9-4 record, won 9, lost 4. James Littlejohn with us this morning, along with his coach at Magruder High, Paul Hassler. Good morning. James, nice to have you with us. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Coach, nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
What's the biggest single challenge you've faced as a result of being blind, James?
Well, mostly like when I'm going to school, and like people come up to me and ask me, like, how do I feel like wrestling and all that kind of stuff, and they
generally give you a hard time?
No.
No?
I mean, I don't have really no bigger challenge. You know, people come up to me and feeling sorry for me. The only time where I have like people that's feeling sorry for me is like when I'm going somewhere, like going to places like to a movie, and like somebody walk up to me off the streets and, you know, just feel sorry for me and, you know, ask me, do I want anything, or,
right.
You know.
Why is it so important to wrestle? What does it do for you?
I think it's a good athlete for me to wrestle, because wrestling is mostly like feeling touch, and instead of seeing, and like, and kind of I have the advantage because when I wrestle one of my competitors, they'll probably like take it easy on me because they probably think I can't wrestle because I'm blind and stuff. So
how many matches have you won because they were good? You faked them out like that?
Probably most of
But have they? To what extent have they caught on to your act, though? I mean, they know now, right?
Yeah.
So, do they have any advantages over you?
Well, this one move, they always, well, it started when one of the guys...
You sure you want to talk about this?
Well, everybody, they know about it.
They're all in school anyway, so, right? You're just in school this morning, right? But anyway, what is it?
Well, the one move started when this one guy wrestled me from Senegal Valley, and it's called the head and arm. And like, after he did it and pinned me with it, all the other 3 matches I lost by the head and arm. And it's like a sight. You have to see this move like to kind of counter it.
Right.
And
you have to see it coming.
Yeah, see it coming. Yeah.
Coach, how do you compare when you look at James wrestling and look at the rest of your wrestling team, who are all sighted? What are the differences you see, not only in terms of wrestling, but in terms of these people?
Well, very basically with James, the sight and touch movements and so on, we try to concentrate on the rest of our wrestlers to try and get and do what James has to do. So when he goes out to wrestle, really we don't see anything much different except for the starting position from between James and anybody else wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think about the hardest thing we have to do is count the number of steps that James has to get to the center of the mat by himself and come off the mat. But except for that, everything else is just like any other wrestler going out there.
What have you learned from him? I mean, in this period of time since you've been coaching James, what?
The major thing I've learned is that the handicapped wrestlers can succeed athletically. There are certain sports that evidently they can't do it. Sight impaired people, for example, can't play baseball, can't play football, but sure, they can go out and wrestle and they can participate in athletics.
Right. What's your goal with wrestling, James?
Try to get a scholarship for university, and then after I would go to college, I would take a computer course, and then after that, be a computer programmer.
All set, boy. Go on track. James, congratulations this season. We ought to pass the word, Coach, that the arm and head, what's it called?
Head and arm.
Head and arm.
Yeah.
No head and arm. No, I have a feeling he's going to overcome that. James, congratulations. Good to meet you. Good to have you with us. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back right after this. 4 minutes up.
In our next hour, Michael Caine. Tomorrow, Molly Ringwald.
Play. Recent portrait. Previous track. Play. Next block. Mute. Brightness. 0%. Adjustable. Volume. Volume. Recently entered. DraftKings. YouTube. Entered. Social. Facebook. Control center. Airplane. Media. Play. Next block. Mute. Brightness. Volume. Focus. Accessories and living. Camera. Selected. Screen recording. Selected. Screen recording.